Well, that was a marathon session over 5 days. The finance minister was briefing us on the details of the Prime Minister's 20 lakh crore package. In fact, as it happens, after she put out her numbers, it's 20.9 lakh crore there. I think it is disappointing to a large part of industry who are looking for actual cash coming in, more bailouts for the hospitality sector, the tourism sector, the aviation sector. These are all sectors which are very, very badly impacted, and I don't think they're going to look much better in the next 6 to 8 months. So I think that's a big disappointment for those people. In terms of the overall shortage, I think perhaps people are expecting too much. Let's keep in mind the fact that with this being probably a negative growth year in nominal GDP, we're going to have a 5 to 6 lakh crore shortfall on the central government budget itself. There'll be a certain amount, on the state government. So you're looking at maybe the fiscal deficit to GDP ratio. It's about 9% or so right now, including the PSU. That will go up to about 12% anyway. Our debt to GDP ratio, central government and state governments, is around 70% right now. That will probably go up to about 75, 78, even 80%, in a year's time. So these are all, really danger marks when it comes to rating agencies and things like that. So I think the government was always skating on thin ice. So it was very, very unrealistic to expect large bailouts. And one thing that people have not accounted for at all, I think the cost of looking at the corona pandemic itself could be a lakh plus crores, maybe a lakh and a half crore. That's a lot of money that the government is not going to be spending. So now let's look at the actual stimulus itself. So one is the impact on the budget, which we've seen is not too much based on what the AFM announced today. But there is the stimulus itself. So the economy, as we know, is in a contraction mode. In that contraction mode, the central government has said that it's going to borrow 4 lakh crore more. The states have been given a lot of headroom to borrow. So all of that adds to the stimulus. I think the other big issue here is really what are the reforms that have come about. These are, as you recall, these are an important part of the package which the Prime Minister had announced when he said. So I think there are some moves which are evident. There are some moves which are not, and therefore we have to look at what actually happens over the year. So but before we come to that, the big move in terms of actual cash is the 3 lakh crore guaranteed loans to the MSME sector. So if PSU banks actually give that money to the MSMEs, that's a very big stimulus to the economy and will clearly help the MSMEs stay afloat. There seems to be some doubt expressed by bankers in private as to whether this will happen. The issues are really about whether, since a large part of these loans will go bad, I think the bankers are concerned that will the government give them this money back quickly? And so far evidence is that the government will not give it back quickly. So bankers may be a bit reluctant to give this money. So I think if the Modi government wants this money to actually go to banks, they need to monitor this very carefully and make sure that the banks give this 3 lakh crores. I think a very, very big move, very big benefit for corporate India is the fact that IBC proceedings have been put on hold for a full year. So which means all the sectors that we're talking about, whether it's aviation, tourism, a lot of other sectors, a lot of people who are in trouble will get some time to recuperate. So I think that's a big positive. To come to the reform that I was talking about, so the obvious ones are what was done on agriculture, which is, we discussed that earlier, the repeal of the Essential Commodities Act or the defanging of the Essential Commodities Act, a move towards contract farming, and allowing interstate travel of food grains. So these are very important moves. For the last 70 years or so, 55, 60, 70 years, they've completely frozen up the agricultural market. So these have been opened up. So I think that's very, very good. There were some moves made on mining. But the big problem in mining, there are two big problems. One is which the government hasn't tackled at all, which is really that levies in mining are way too high in India. So that needs to be fixed. The government hasn't moved on that. Typically, levies in India on mining, whether it's oil or other minerals, is about 50% greater than what it is in competing countries. So I think that's a big negative. The other real problem, when it comes to whether it's coal or bauxite or things like that, we saw what happened to Vedanta's Niyamgiri project, is that the clearances just take too long. I don't think there's any move towards that. But the really big move that the finance minister announced today is the increase in the deficit limits. She hasn't announced an increase in the deficit limit, but the increase in the borrowing limits for state government. So effectively that translates to an increase in the deficit limits as well. So I think the big change there is that some part of this increase in the deficit on the debt levels is linked to reforms. These are reforms in the things of ease of doing business, in the power sector, in urban local bodies. So we need to see how fast and how firm the government is able to push through these changes. Because frankly, if you can make changes in the power sector through this, we saw Uday, for example, completely failed because Uday didn't have enough measures to make sure that the states actually performed. This time, the central government has tied the extra borrowing of the state governments to certain changes. If they happen, this could be the very big thing that India wanted. If some of these reforms could happen, I think the disappointment here, maybe something will happen over the course of the year, is that as far as business is concerned, very large businesses in India have been hurt by the government's anti-business attitude over the years. The telecom sector, we know, is a prime example of a sector which has been crippled due to excessive government levies. So nothing has been done on that. We've seen in the oil sector, the levies are very high. There are lots of other problems that companies have. There are tax problems that companies have. So there are huge problems. We saw in the case of e-tail, Walmart bought Flipkart for $16 billion, and after that the government decided to implement the policy in a different way. So we've seen how the government has gone after Monsanto. So there are hosts of companies which are facing a lot of problems, and it was hoped that the government would start fixing some of that. Maybe this stimulus package or this reform package was not part of that, but certainly if the government wants to encourage people to come in, business to relocate from China, they need to fix this. Because I can tell you one thing, when any new business comes to a country, it does not get lured only by the tax and other incentives. It looks at how our existing businesses faring here. So if there's an American company which is working in China and it starts looking at what's happening in India, and they look at Indian companies having a tough time, they look at foreign investors in India having a tough time, they're not going to come here. So we've got to look forward to a whole host of reforms over a period of time. The good news is that the government, at least by the way it's talking, seems to be a lot more focused on it. So we'll have to watch and see. Thank you.